Hello everyone, and welcome to Earth Archives. You know, every time I look up at the starry sky, I can't help but wonder how people hundreds of years ago viewed these planets. Could they really see Saturn's rings and Jupiter's great red spot?
During the wave of the 17th century scientific revolution, Giovanni Cassini was undoubtedly one of the greatest astronomers. He was not only a genius passionate about stargazing, but also a scientific pioneer who used the most advanced telescope technology of his time to reveal the mysteries of the planets. Cassini's contributions were profound, laying a solid foundation for future astronomical research and becoming a significant milestone in the history of astronomy. Cassini's most famous achievement was his in-depth exploration of the Saturn system. Using the cutting-edge telescopes of the era, he was the first to observe the structure of Saturn's rings and discovered 4 of Saturn's moons: Titan, Iapetus, Dione, and Rhea. His discoveries allowed people to truly understand for the first time that Saturn's rings were not a single solid structure, but a complex system made up of countless tiny particles, which shocked the scientific community at the time. Cassini also proposed the theory that Saturn's rings consist of many thin ringlets, a theory that is still widely accepted today.
Cassini? He sounds Italian, right? How did he end up in France?
Giovanni Domenico Cassini was born on June 8, 1625, in the peaceful town of Parinaldo near Genoa, Italy. Imagine the blue sea stretching to the horizon, trade ships weaving through the waves, and the salty sea breeze stirring the curiosity and desire for exploration in young Cassini. This picturesque hometown became the source of inspiration for his later pursuit of the mysteries of the universe. Cassini's original name was Giovanni Domenico Cassini. As the eldest son of an Italian noble family, he chose to devote his life to science and astronomy. Later, he moved to France and integrated into the European scientific community. His name was transformed to Giovanni Cassini, symbolizing his evolution from a local noble youth to a multinational academic giant.
A name can reflect a change in identity. Did he enjoy astronomy when he was a child?
Giovanni Cassini's childhood was like a magnificent poem blending mathematics, poetry, and astronomy, laying a deep foundation for his future as a great astronomer. During his years at the Jesuit college, he not only studied rigorous mathematical theories and mastered precise methods for calculating the orbits of stars, but also explored astrology and classical literature. These seemingly different disciplines gradually merged in his young mind, becoming the key to understanding the mysteries of the universe. Mathematics allowed Cassini to use calm logic and formulas to deduce the paths of celestial bodies. Astrology taught him to observe the relationship between celestial phenomena and human affairs, cultivating his keen observational skills and broad perspective, while the aesthetics of classical poetry gave him a poetic and reverent feeling toward the vastness and mystery of the cosmos. This combination of rationality and sensibility not only made Cassini an exact scientist, but also endowed him with a profound and artistic understanding of astronomical phenomena.
So how did he start his career in astronomy?
In 1648, Giovanni Cassini obtained a professorship in astronomy at the University of Bologna in Italy and began conducting precise observations at the Panzano Observatory, officially starting his distinguished career in astronomy. During this period, he focused on observing planetary motion and celestial positions, accumulating rich first-hand data that laid a solid foundation for his later discoveries. As his academic reputation grew, Cassini made an important decision to leave his homeland Italy and go to France to join the astronomical projects under the rule of Louis XIV. He participated in the establishment of the Paris Observatory, which was not only a major professional leap, but also a bridge between science and politics. At that time, the Paris Observatory was considered one of Europe's scientific centers, and Cassini's joining greatly enhanced its academic standing and research depth.
The Paris Observatory sounds impressive. What amazing things did he do there?
Imagine every day looking through a telescope into the vast starry sky. Giovanni Cassini carefully observed the mysteries of Saturn and Jupiter with his optical telescope. In the 17th century, such observations were no easy feat. Optical technology was still developing, and every point of light in the sky required patience and wisdom to interpret. Thanks to his exceptional observational skills, Cassini was the first to discover Saturn's first moon, Iapetus, and later identified Rhea, Tethys, Dione, and several other moons, unveiling the complex satellite system of Saturn to humanity. However, Cassini's most astonishing discovery was noticing a distinct gap within Saturn's rings. This narrow, elongated space was later named the Cassini Division, becoming a classic symbol in the history of astronomy. This discovery not only proved that Saturn's rings were not a single solid band, but a complex structure made up of multiple ringlets, laying the groundwork for later planetary science and studies of ring systems.
So he didn't just observe stars, he also took part in national surveying?
Giovanni Cassini was not only a pioneer in astronomy, but also a master who combined science with practical techniques. Using the advanced method of triangulation at the time, he precisely measured the parallax of Mars and successfully estimated the distance between the Earth and the Sun. This groundbreaking work not only enhanced humanity's understanding of the scale of the universe, but also laid a solid foundation for future astronomical research. In addition, Cassini created a detailed map of France, known as the Cassini map. This map was unprecedentedly accurate for its time, showcasing France's vast land and intricate geographic details. It became an indispensable tool for national governance and military planning. The government used this map for administrative division, resource management, and defense strategies, demonstrating the close connection between science and national development.
By the way, you just mentioned Saturn. Did he also observe Jupiter?
Giovanni Cassini not only achieved remarkable success in studying Saturn, but also made equally brilliant observations of Jupiter. Imagine him sitting at the 17th century Paris Observatory, holding the most advanced optical telescope of the time, with the bright, shining Jupiter in the night sky acting like a beacon guiding his exploration of the cosmos. Jupiter's massive size and unique gaseous structure attracted Cassini's continuous attention and study. He carefully recorded the changes in Jupiter's cloud bands and was the first to identify Jupiter's moons. Through his telescope, Cassini discovered 4 moons, which later became known as the Cassini-Jupiter satellites, Io, Europa, Ganymede, and Callisto. This discovery not only enriched humanity's understanding of the solar system, but also fundamentally changed the contemporary understanding of the universe's structure, proving that planets could have their own satellite systems. So what special things did he see? Giovanni Cassini's observations of Jupiter are considered a major milestone in the history of astronomy. First, he keenly noticed several faint points of light around Jupiter, which were later confirmed as Jupiter's moons. These 4 moons, Io, Europa, Ganymede, and Callisto, were the earliest Jupiter satellites observed and recorded by humans. Cassini not only discovered these moons, but also meticulously recorded their positions and orbital paths with great precision. He carefully mapped the routes of the moons orbiting Jupiter and compared his data with observations made by other European astronomers at the time to ensure accuracy. These efforts not only confirmed the existence of moons orbiting a planet, but also laid an important foundation for future astronomical research.
Wow, were those moons really visible back then?
Giovanni Cassini's discovery of Jupiter's moons was the result of an extremely painstaking and meticulous observation process. These moons were actually just very faint points of light, completely invisible to the naked eye. Although the telescopes of the time were advanced equipment, distinguishing such tiny points of light still required intense focus and patience. Cassini had to spend long hours continuously observing the sky around Jupiter, patiently calculating the orbital periods of each moon. Moreover, He had to account for the changing perspective caused by the Earth's rotation and the parallax effect due to the varying distance between the Earth and Jupiter. These astronomical phenomena made the observational data complex, and without rigorous calculation and correction, it would have been impossible to accurately depict the Moon's orbital motions. Cassini, relying on his outstanding mathematical skills and careful observation, overcame these challenges and successfully recorded the precise positions and orbits of the moons.
What about Jupiter's Great Red Spot?
Cassini's observations of Jupiter were not limited to its moons, but also included that enormous, mysterious spot, the Great Red Spot. At that time, without modern high-resolution photography, Cassini had to rely on his eyes and telescope to patiently observe Jupiter's surface. He discovered a huge oval-shaped spot on Jupiter's surface that slowly moved as Jupiter rotated, turning along with the planet. Cassini not only recorded the location of the Great Red Spot, but also carefully measured its movement speed and changes, demonstrating exceptional observational skills and mathematical analysis. These detailed observations became a valuable foundation for later studies of Jupiter's weather and the characteristics of the Great Red Spot. Since then, scientists have gradually uncovered the mystery of this massive storm, understanding it as a superstorm lasting for hundreds of years, far beyond any weather phenomena on Earth.
Did he have any funny little moments?
Giovanni Cassini actually had a rather awkward but amusing episode while observing Jupiter's moons. One time, he spent several nights in a row by the telescope, intently tracking the orbits of the moons around Jupiter. Back then, telescope calibration wasn't as precise as it is today, so even a slight misalignment could make the view blurry. One night, the moons kept appearing and disappearing, and at one point, he even thought Jupiter had suddenly vanished, almost like an astronomical magic trick. After careful checking, he realized it was just a telescope adjustment error. Jupiter hadn't gone anywhere. He was simply being tricked by his own instrument. Humorously, Cassini wrote in his observation log, "Jupiter played a prank on me." This not only shows his light-hearted attitude toward scientific challenges, but also reveals a genuine and relatable side behind the great scientist.
So even great scientists get fooled by their telescopes.
That's exactly the charm of science, its unpredictability and challenges. Even a master astronomer like Cassini, faced with the vastness and mystery of the universe, was occasionally pranked. When the telescope malfunctioned or celestial bodies flickered in and out of view, these small setbacks weren't obstacles, but motivations to observe and record even more carefully. It was this persistence and patience that allowed Cassini to accurately map the moons of Jupiter and Saturn and discover the famous Cassini Division, which became a classic symbol in the history of astronomy.
How was his family life?
The Cassini family is a rare legendary dynasty in the scientific world. Starting from the 17th century, 3 generations of this family dedicated themselves to astronomical research, unveiling the mysteries of the universe for humanity. The founder, Giovanni Domenico Cassini, also known as Giovanni Cassini, was not only a key founder of the Paris Observatory, but his son Giovanni Domenico II and grandson Jacques Cassini continued his legacy, working tirelessly in the fields of astronomical observation and precise measurement. Imagine the Cassini family's dinner table, where conversations weren't about daily chores but about planetary orbits, celestial parallax changes, errors encountered during measurements, and how to correct data. Such discussions deeply rooted the spirit of science in their family life. Each member was not only a researcher, but also the most rigorous collaborator and critic of one another. The entire family seemed like a moving astronomical laboratory, with passion for science and curiosity flowing in their blood, passed down from generation to generation.
Cassini seems to have lived a long life. How did it end?
Giovanni Domenico Cassini, this great astronomer, remained a beacon in the scientific community until the final stages of his life. By 1709, as he grew older, his eyesight began to gradually decline. For an astronomer who relied on precise observations and delicate calculations, this was undoubtedly a heavy blow. By 1711, he was almost completely blind. Yet even in the face of losing his vision, Cassini steadfastly maintained his passion and contributions to science. Using his vast knowledge and years of experience, he left behind invaluable astronomical data and geographical measurements, scientific legacies that became foundational for future generations' study of the universe. On September 14, 1712, Cassini passed away peacefully at the Paris Observatory at the age of 87. His life witnessed the leap from hand-drawn star charts to advanced telescope observations. His name is not only etched in the history of astronomy, but also stands as a symbol of the spirit of science.
So, the Cassini-Huygens probe launched later. Is it related to him?
Yes. In 1997, the Cassini-Huygens probe, carrying Giovanni Cassini's name and scientific dreams, was officially launched. This was not only a tribute to this great astronomer, but also a major milestone in humanity's exploration of the universe. The probe successfully reached Saturn's orbit in 2004 and began a 13-year scientific mission. Using advanced instruments, it captured stunning images of Saturn and its ring system and collected vast amounts of precious data, revealing the mysterious nature of Saturn's moons and greatly enriching our understanding of this giant planet. The most remarkable achievement of the Cassini-Huygens mission was the successful delivery of a Huygens lander to Titan, Saturn's largest moon, marking the first-ever soft landing on this distant world and opening a new chapter in human exploration of the outer solar system's moons.
So Cassini's name isn't just recorded on Earth but also on the Moon and Mars?
Giovanni Cassini's profound impact on astronomy has long transcended time and space, leaving an eternal mark on the landscapes of the Moon and Mars. Both the Moon and Mars feature the Cassini crater, which is not just a geographical name, but a high honor to this great astronomer. Whenever modern probes capture images of these sites, it feels like time travel, perfectly blending Cassini's scientific spirit with modern technology. The Cassini craters are more than geological features. They symbolize the historical narrative of human exploration of the cosmos. These crater locations have become focal points for countless astronomers and planetary scientists and important reference targets in space missions. Every high-definition image taken by probes carries scientific value and cultural significance, helping us deeply appreciate Cassini's outstanding contributions to astronomical observation.
After hearing his story, I want to pick up a telescope and explore the night sky too.
Then let's start today. First, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon. From now on, every time we explore the stars, we'll follow in Cassini's footsteps together.